Voting is more than just a right, it's a powerful tool for change. Every vote counts and every voice matters. Voting protects your rights and helps to build a better future. And it's a way to hold our leaders accountable. Voting isn't just about the big elections either. Local elections impact our daily lives. It is important to study the candidates and the issues in order to make an informed decision. Election 2024. Don't sit it out. Your vote is your power. PR Connections Radio presents.
Hi, my name is Penny Tyndall, and I am the new host for the podcast called The Professionals. We will be broadcasting this podcast live every first and third Wednesday of the month at 10:15 a.m. Tune in and learn about local businesses and their innovative minds behind them. Each episode, we will journey through the unique stories of our neighborhood entrepreneurs and nonprofits and uncover the passion, the challenges, and the triumphs that drive our local economy. Join us as we explore how dedicated individuals are crafting not only vibrant enterprises, but also are more connected to our local Las Vegas and Henderson community. Stay tuned. I'll see you soon. Penny Tyndall. Hello, everybody. Well, it's the first and third Wednesday of the month, and I have a new guest today. I don't know, Dell is spinning around, but hopefully she'll get herself back up. Hello, Dell. Welcome. So my guest today is Dell Warswick, and she is going to talk to us about health and wellness, and mainly not all mushrooms are the same. So welcome in, Dell.
Thank you so much, and thank you for inviting me. Appreciate it.
Yes, I'm very excited. So we were talking backstage and we learned, number one, I knew you were a flight attendant, but I asked you where you were from, and you just told me that you're British, and I definitely see that in you. So fantastic. I love to have a Brit on my show. You're the first Brit on my show, so welcome. So now I know that so I know you live in Summerlin, in the Sun City, Summerlin area. And so we were talking about your health journey and what you do and why you got into the health and wellness. So why don't you kind of put us through a brief introduction on who is Dell?
Well, like you mentioned, Penny, that I'm a flight attendant. So a lot of times, you're flying around and you see a lot of sick people, and we do a lot of first aid. Well, I should say a lot, but we do first aid situations on the airplane. But what my concern was whenever we had a medical emergency, one of the things we ask is that, are they taking any medications? And it just astonished me how many people had bags full and bottles full of medications. And I really, truly believe that a lot of these medications were causing their situation and their issue. So that kind of got me on a journey. When I was married, many years ago, my ex-husband had cancer. And so I had to educate myself on how to keep him cancer-free. And I did that for 12 years. So I've always been interested in the health and wellness area and got very into the energy work, the energy modalities, and that's been really I've expanded on that over the years. And then I came across Pet Club 247, and it's just been an amazing journey. And I met my cohorts, Kristen and Kurt, And they were talking about all the testimonies and all the things that were happening with people, not only with the pets, but with the people as well. And I was so amazed at what I was hearing. I said, I've got to be involved in this because we're all about energy, right? So people think that they pick their animals, and actually the animals pick us, and we're energetically connected. So to be able to help animals to get better and help people was a very, very wonderful thing that I was very interested in doing. And knowing that I could be an option and give other people options for their pets and themselves, as well as give them hope to get their pet and fur babies and family members well, was so exciting for me, because it's just heartbreaking. Even living here in Sun City, you hear a lot of the stories, and we do pet health seminars around the country, and you hear these stories, and it's just heartbreaking to see that they just feel helpless on not wanting to know what to do. So this is why I love Pet Club, because we've made such a difference. And I got involved in about 2.5 years ago, and it's just taken off. I was just doing it part-time, and it's now a full-time, part-time job. And I'm not flying as much because I really became really passionate about it in helping these people. And it's just been an incredible, amazing journey because we're getting testimonies daily on this product.
So I love that. So I think that a lot of things that have happened after COVID, a lot of people are kind of paying attention to the
Yeah.
health and wellness, and it gives them the opportunity, like what you did. You kind of self-educated and you found quality people, quality product. And a lot of times our ailments, cancer, all these other ailments, a lot of times it's because our immune system is the problem. We are feeding our body junk and we expect to stay healthy. But if
Exactly.
we clear it out, and like what you said with your energy, you have to, take care of your vessel. If it's not as a human, you also need to take care of your pet health, because your immunity also affects your mind. Because if you're not feeling good, you're not working, you're not making money, and so it just kind of grows in and rolls down the hill, and you can't sometimes catch your breath, and you're desperate. And that's where I always feel like the medical industry waits for you to get desperate.
Mhm.
What can I do? And so you have some products, and the basis of your products are mushrooms, correct?
Correct. Um, it is the Corialis versicolor mushroom, and this actually originated in Japan, and that's how this company got started. Was they found this mushroom, and the Corialis versicolor mushroom is a very good, strong mushroom, and in Japan, if anybody has cancer, they require them to take this mushroom in addition to doing the chemo as well. Um, how the founders of our company found this was that they had a family member that had lung cancer, was going to, I think it was Sloan Kettering. And so they did all the treatments, they did all the stuff that they could do, basically said, there's nothing else we can do, just go home now. And which is what they, the medical system does. They just kind of, spit you out and say, okay, well, just go do whatever you want to do. Well, one of the family members of theirs was in Japan and knew about this mushroom, sent the mushroom over and said, have her try this. So she started taking the mushroom, and on a daily level, she started improving. Within a couple of weeks, they saw how she was gaining her energy back. She was more not as lethargic. She was more alert. Her hair was growing. So all these different symptoms were being eliminated. So after about 3 or 4 months, I think it was, she went back to the doctor. They did another scan with her and said they were absolutely shocked, and she was cancer free. And
Wow.
they found out they said, what have you been doing? So they told, she told them, and at that point is when they started doing the clinical trials. So there's over 400 clinical trials for this mushroom. And so
Just that one strain of mushroom, which is from Japan. Is that correct?
the Coriolis
Okay.
mushroom, yes. And Sloan Kettering did it, MD Anderson, even I think it's the Philadelphia Veterinary Institute also did a study. So did this clinical trials on humans as well as animals. And the results were, unbelievable. So then they knew that once they got the information from this and how they saw she had improved, they said, well, we have something here. And they noticed also, Penny, that 4 people, or I think it was 4 or 5 people in their family within a year lost their animals at all different ages. Their dogs, there was an older dog that had cancer. There was one of the other co-founders had an 11-year-old dog and died with cancer. One of the 2 of the daughters of the other founder had 2 dogs. One was 4 years old and the other one was 6, I believe. They all died with cancers within a very short period of time, within the year. And then that's when they started doing their research. They said, something's not right here, something's wrong. So they started finding out and doing research on how they were, what they were putting in their foods and why were these animals getting so sick and what was going on with them. And then that's how they came about. And they put the mushroom, they started giving these dogs the mushroom and they started thriving. They started getting better. And so they said, wow. So they then developed the product to be more nutritional, because you know what they're doing to our foods. They're doing the exact same thing to the pet food. So they said, we've got to make some changes. We want our animals and our pets, our family members, to live a lot longer and stay with us a lot longer. So that's how basically the company got started, and which was several years ago. And they started, and then the people started saying, well, you've just got this pet food, why don't you do something for humans? So they said, okay, we'll do this. And so they had the mushroom capsules, which this is the Coriolis versicolor mushroom. And again, we have the proprietary strain. So this is a very potent, nutrient-rich mushroom, which is why it's working so well. But this actually is not so much the mushroom, but what it's doing into our bodies, like you just mentioned, Penny, because of all the different environmental things that we're exposed to, the metals and the food and the toxins, our immune systems are very weakened. And that's why we start breaking down and start getting sick. And then we get those energy blockages in there as well. So what the mushroom does is actually support your immune system and help it kick in and do an optimal job and start working the way it was designed to do. And that's why people are getting well from this mushroom.
So, okay, so I know that you had talked about, it's for pet and humans, and on the pets, it's for dogs, cats, and horses. And I did go on the website, and it's pretty simple website, pretty easy to navigate. And then for the people, you have different capsules. You talked about one. You also have gummies, which would be great for you to give to your kids. I've actually tried the gummies. They're very flavorful. And so it's something that you can just add to your daily life. You don't have to jump. And I'm sure a doctor would never say anything, because basically you're dealing with mushrooms. And when I talk to people about mushrooms, they're like, oh, mushrooms, like, hallucinogenics. And I'm like, no, I've never done that. And so I know there's I noticed another mushroom in the human side. It was the reishi, right? So is that something a little bit different? Is that working on something else?
Well, the the four that we have, like I mentioned, they're the reishi mushroom, and then we have the maitake, and then we have the lion's mane. Well, the reishi actually helps give heart support and helps give blood pressure support. And we're seeing the blood pressures of so many people have their increased blood pressure. And this, we've got testimonies of people how it's lowered their blood pressure and they're off the medication now. The Restore has the maitake in it, and that is basically helping the pancreas and the liver. And then we have the Clarity, which is the lion's mane, and that helps with cognitive issues. And even people that have Alzheimer's and different illnesses and ailments that have been taking that have noticed differences. So they're all immune system supportive mushrooms in there, and it just really boosts the system up.
So let's just say I'm ready to jump in. So I would take all three different capsules on a daily basis. Is that something that somebody would do, or would you just say start with one thing first? Like, how does the person, like for me, I like the idea of the cognitive thinking. We live in a very stressful environment, and with Alzheimer's at an all-time high. So many people are getting Alzheimer's, and I think it's going to be worse because our young people are just, their minds don't turn off. They have the social media 24/7. They're not sitting like when we were young. You'd go outside and sometimes you would just sit at the porch and, wait for your friend to finish dinner. And so
Yeah.
you'd sit there for 20, 30 minutes and maybe you would, rest and think about it and clear your mind. But nowadays, people's minds are just, overextended, I think.
Exactly. Well, they're saying that Alzheimer's is the diabetes 3, right? So
Mm.
that is, so it all can be slowed down. It also, can be helped with dealing, with those kind of situations. I have several clients that have parents, older parents, that are going into that area,
Right.
and so they immediately put them on this Clarity to help them. So to answer your initial question, is that you can take different mushrooms. Now, what they do is, because different mushrooms can compete with each other. So with this mushroom, you don't, everything helps be compatible with each other. So, but a lot of times when people ask, what do I take or how many, it depends on what your situation is. So if you are just want a maintenance program, just to keep, your immune system going, then we just recommend 2 a day of the Coriolis versicolor, which is the regular Inforce. Now, if you're dealing with different issues, then we recommend the different amounts or the different ones that I just mentioned. We've had people that taken the mushroom, the Coriolis Inforce, for like digestive issues. And then in the process of taking that, they find their digestive issues improve. And then they notice, oh, my eyesight's better. So it really is helping the immune system work and operate in the body entirely. So we find that out. So it depends on what issue you're trying to take care of or address. to what we recommend that you take. But either one of those, they're all good to take. So people will still see an effect and get results. Usually when people start taking them, they'll notice a difference within 2 weeks. They'll notice. I had somebody had stage 3 throat cancer, very swollen, had a big lump. The doctors even were thinking, okay, we can just keep him out of hospice if we can. I recommended that he take the 10 mushrooms a day, which is what we usually recommend for people with cancers. So he started on the mushrooms. 3 weeks later, he went back to the doctor. They did another scan, and his initial tumor, I think, was 29.6 millimeters. So it was a pretty good size one. And when he came out of, I went down and went with him and some other people, went in there with him to the doctor's office. He came out of the office crying. And I went, oh no. I said, what happened? And he looked, showed me the paperwork, and he said, my tumor went down by 40%. And I said, wow, that is so awesome. So again, he continued with the mushrooms. 3 weeks after that, he went back to see the doctor. I couldn't take him, but Kristen and Kurt took him. And he messaged me and said, Dale, I just had the other scan done. My tumor now is 5.4 millimeters. I'll be cancer-free in 90 days. So, and to this day, he is. And we get those kind of testimonies, Penny, all the time. Can we save everybody? No, but if we can help just a few people, that's why we do this. Can we save every pet? But we try to help those pets get better and stay healthier a lot longer. So we get these type of testimonies all the time. I don't know if you've heard of David Nino Rodriguez. He's a retired boxer. He has his own podcast show. He orders his pet food for me every month. And he had a dog, Axel, that was 15 years old. He said, Dale, he's not doing well. He's moping around. He's lethargic. He's sleeping all the time. He has no energy. And he said, I think I'm probably going to have to put him down soon. I said, Nino, get him on this pet food and just try it and see how he does. Within 2 weeks, he called me and said, Dale, I can't lie. He said, I've seen an amazing difference in him. He's more awake. He's got more energy. His eyes are clearer. And even his fur is growing back. And he said he's not depressed anymore because apparently 3 months before that, he had to put his other dog down. So he was walking around looking for his buddy, saying, where's my buddy? My buddy's left me. So he was very depressed because of that. And he said he's not even depressed. And I said, because that's what the mushrooms do. They help with depression and anxiety as well because of that immune system kicking in. So he was elated that his dog was doing so much better. And I think it was probably 3 or 4 months ago, he had to put him down, but he was almost 18 years old. So we had him that much longer. But I also reminded him, I said, yeah, but your dog had you that much longer as well. So those are the things that we love doing what we do, why we're passionate about this, because we know what they're doing to the food and the pet industry, the corporations are doing to their food, and we know how they're doing stuff and what they're putting in it. And it's heartbreaking because we know that that's contributing to all their illnesses. The cancer rates in animals have gone up. 60% of the dogs get cancers now. They have I think 1 in 6 have diabetes, 1 in 3 have allergies. So all these are the environmental things like you were talking about. It's really disturbing. And now what is so great, we're giving people those options and giving them hope to try other things. And when we hear of, I get people call me all the time now, Dale, I've got this person that's got this issue, and I got this
Right.
person's got cancer, and and this pet's got this problem. What do I do? So this is why we do what we do, because our motto is we want to change the world one pet and one person at a time.
I love that. I love that. So what you've kind of recapped that not all mushrooms are the same. We had talked about that mushroom coffee. Like I had talked to Jenny and I said, "Hey, I bought this mushroom coffee. I felt better about it." And that was right before she joined the pet, the pet 24/7 and pet club 24/7. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, Penny, I'm going to try your pet." But she met you, I guess, or she knew you, but she discussed it. And she's like, "This is even better." And I had recently lost two pets, and my doctors are like, "Oh, they probably got COVID or something." And they had quality life and they died like within months of apart from each other. I'm like, they were perfectly healthy before.
And
So I think that people need to at least come and try the product. I know that you and Jenny both have amazing testimonials for people and pets. And, with COVID, a lot of new pet owners out there. So it's very important for them to realize that the food is not good for people and for pets. I have a lot of friends that make their pet food, but that doesn't mean it's good. So I think we all need to supplement, and this is all organic. So I'm very excited. So I want you to shout out about the website. I think that a pet health seminar would be fabulous. I would love to instigate something for my Summerlin neighbors and my Sun City neighbors. And so if people want to communicate, once you shout that out, that they want to be involved with the pet health seminars, then, I'm all for it. I think that you try it and, be your own testimonial, but you have to try it, right?
exactly. And without a doubt, a lot of people, we get the testimonies, like I said, daily. I mean, literally now they're coming in constantly. We have calls every morning that they cover a lot of testimonies that people call in and how it saved their animal and how their animals improved, and how this person had prostate problems and now he doesn't have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night 10 times. So we hear all these different things. And that's, like I said, it just makes a huge difference. And to what you mentioned earlier, Penny, when a lot of people do start making their own pet foods now, and we hear that a lot throughout the country. But what we do recommend, even though they're making their food for their pets, which is really, not a bad thing, but we do recommend, if nothing else, get the super sauce, which I have a pack here.
Oh yeah,
This,
that's what Jenny was talking about, the super
yeah, the
sauce,
super
right?
sauce has all the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients in it that the pet needs in their food. We have this one for dogs and we have one for cats. Um, so it's vital. And we also recommend the Mush Puppy treats, because they put that mushroom into the treats to get into their system a little bit faster. And we're finding about average people are giving their pets 8 to 10 treats a day, for their pets. So this is a great alternative, but it's a healthy one. And
Mm.
then you mentioned the coffee. The coffee has the mushroom in it as well. So you're getting actually a supplemental coffee that is not only good, but it's very nutritious and it's helping you nutritiously as well.
Perfect, perfect. So I go ahead. Let's do a shout out for staying well, and Jenny and you, and let's let the folks know how they can get in contact with you guys and learn more about the products for pets and for people.
Sure. We have, well, Jenny's website is stayingwell.petclub247.com. So that's stayingwell.petclub247.com. And you can reach out to Penny and you can check out all the products. They have the testimonial videos on there. They have a lot of good information on the products. I can give you, I have a voicemail number that if anybody has any questions or they want to know what to buy or get, they can call me at 702-909-0057. And it is my voicemail, and you can message me or call and leave a message, but please wait. You know, you might have to wait a few days when I get back to you because I get inundated with calls, but I will definitely get back to you.
Okay, perfect. And you're still a flight attendant, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
No, I
So
haven't
you're
been.
still flying the friendly skies.
I'm still flying the skies. And occasionally, you know, I get to see Jenny in the air. And I haven't flown with her in a while, which is a shame. Yeah, so I've not been flying as much anymore because this has just been keeping me so busy. And I just felt that more people and their pets need our help. And again, we ask people, you know, like you mentioned, to do their research, check the products that they're giving. When we do the pet health seminar, which I would love to work with you on, Penny, to coordinate something like that, because when we do the pet health seminars and we educate people, because unfortunately, most people, they're not nutritionists. They don't know. They go to the store and they're inundated with all these bags of pet
Right.
food, and they're just very confused. They don't know what to do, but they put all these fancy words on there. They put all these different colors, and it's just a marketing ploy to get you to buy their product. So we educate people to check the ingredients as well. But when we list and show them the top 10 most recalled brands, people are shocked because they go, oh, that's what I feed my dog. Oh, that's what I feed my cat. So they get surprised of what they find out
Okay,
about.
so now that you said the top 10, let's end that. But what would be the top 3? I think I know one, but what are the top 3 pet products that have been continued recalled for whatever reason? What would be the top 3? Do you have those?
Yeah, well, the number one is Hill's Science Diet, which is not a,
What?
no,
I
no.
think the veterinarians sell that product.
Yeah, and people say, but my vet sells it, and he was the one.
Exactly.
And I said, well, here's why. Because they're making 60% off of that sale. That's why they're doing it. They're in cahoots with the food companies to sell that product. But most veterinarians are not nutritionists either. But they
Right.
should, yeah, they definitely should know. So, and also a good point to mention, Penny, is that the reason that a lot of people say, well, my dog and my cat is very picky, and they go, and they won't eat this food, and they won't eat this, and they don't like this. And I said, do you know why? Because they put they put all the chemicals and then all the and preservatives and all, surprisingly enough, some of them put roadkill in there. And they put all these different additives, which is obviously toxic to our bodies, and especially the pets. So I say, but they put a lot of sugars in there. So what they're doing is getting your pet addicted to that food. And so when you're trying to give your pet healthy food, then they're going to snub at that. And then they go, no, I want this one, because they're addicted to it. And that's how they get you to stick with those products. But that's why we also recommend that you wean them off, or transition them
Right.
to new food. But also, because they have so much sugars in there, your dog and your cats are going to probably a high probability get diabetes because of
Wow.
that. And then they get you back into the office to that. I had a client that had a 14-year-old cat, and she was just flabbergasted, saw her cat just, getting worse. The vet said, oh, she's got diabetes, or I think it was a he cat. he's got diabetes, and so we have to put him on insulin. She didn't want to do it because she knows insulin is toxic to the body. But she said, I had no alternatives. I was doing a talk at this event in Sacramento, and I had mentioned the product, and she immediately said, I knew exactly I had to get my cat on this product. She messaged me and said, Dale, I have seen a huge difference in my cat. He's thriving now. He's walking because he was losing the use of his hind legs. And she said, I see his walking, but she said, but the most thing that surprised me, I've weaned him off the insulin. He's no longer on the insulin, which was a wonderful thing to hear. So we hear that a lot, even with people, because now they're not taking their blood pressure medications and all these other medications that they've been on. They're slowly, taking themselves off of that medication that's also creating other issues with them. So those are the type of things, again, we get all the time of what, the food is doing.
Yeah, so I understand. We see that it's your passion project, and you are helping, one pet, one human at a time. It's incredible. Like we said, the website is staywell.petclub247.com, and you've got Ginny and Dale. Go ahead.
Sorry, did you say staying well?
Staying well. That's what you said, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Staying well. And Dale has given you her personal voicemail that you can leave a message. She could talk to you about energy, healing. She could talk to you about pets and humans and mushrooms. And she's a wealth of knowledge, and she's willing to give her knowledge to you. So her number, she stated, was 702-909-0057. If you don't catch it, you can always contact me. I have Ginny and Dell on my speed dial. I'm definitely going to try the products. I don't have any pets now, but when I do understand the organic matter of mushrooms. They are nature's remedy to so many things. I appreciate you coming on, Dell. It was a pleasure meeting you and having my first Brit on the podcast. For everybody out there, if you're looking to talk about a product, your business, a nonprofit, or an event, to come on my podcast is free. And I do the podcast on the first and the third Wednesday at 10:15 a.m. I thank everybody, and I hope all of you have a wonderful day. Stay healthy. This is Penny Tyndall from The Professionals. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Dale.
Thank you.
Voting is more than just a right, it's a powerful tool for change. Every vote counts and every voice matters. Voting protects your rights and helps to build a better future. And it's a way to hold our leaders accountable. Voting isn't just about the big elections either. Local elections impact our daily lives. It is important to study the candidates and the issues in order to make an informed decision. Election 2024. Don't sit it out. Your vote is your power. PR Connections Radio thanks you for watching this podcast. Check out more episodes of this show and our others at prconnectionsradio.com.